Hey Jeff, I just read some of the messages on your YouTube channel and it inspired me to have a look at my helicopters, which are sadly neglected sitting in the wardrobe. There's a couple here and a few more downstairs in the storage shed. But this is the first 450 GT that I built, and it's now 4 years old. I think the first flight, if I check my channel, was around September 2010. So yeah, this is the Hobby King 450 GT, and it's got well over 1,500 flights. Still is just a beautiful helicopter, it really is. I did crash it once in the very early days, and it was purely my own fault. I was practicing auto rotations and I just pushed it too far, and it hit the ground. I damaged the head. I had to replace the head here, but that was just pure pilot error, nothing to do with the helicopter. What I've done on this helicopter changes over the years. Really not a lot. I did upgrade to a Quark gyro. This originally had the 401B gyro, but obviously the Quark is a bit more accurate and it's nicer for inverted flying. The little DS480 servo on the tail, that's original, and it's just been a super little servo. I never had an issue with it. It's a bit noisy. It's got a metal gear train and it's quite noisy, but otherwise it functions perfectly. I did have to change the collective servos. They're the high-tech HS65MGs. Around 600 or 700 flight mark, one of them started to develop a slight jitter, and I'd lived with it for a while, but then one of the other servos developed a jitter, so I just took all three out and replaced them, and these have been good ever since. And the only other thing I did was change the tail blades to the 450 Pro blades, and that was just because I like the way they look with the squared off ends. But otherwise, just a super helicopter. It really has been fabulous. It's got a nice smooth gear train, and when it flies, the tracking is just perfect. You know, it's one of the quietest helicopters I've got, and yeah, otherwise everything's original. The motor is an Alpha 400. Actually, that is the second motor, I should say. I forgot about that. I bought two of these motors from Nitro Planes when I first started to build these, and the first one just wore out. The bearings just gave up, and I had to replace it. But this second one has been good. So yeah, good old Hobby King helicopters. Who said they wouldn't last?